Darci's Corner. So I apologize about the lighting. It's 3:30 in the morning. I just finished my delivery run for Sunday, which is shorter than the rest of the week. But I don't have any helpers, so it takes me just as long or longer to finish. Anyway, and I've got the phone on its side so that my eye line will stay in the center of the camera. I think that's better. Anyway, Darci's Corner, I wanted to talk a little bit about the concept of being disabled or being labeled disabled. No pun intended. And I've never considered myself to be disabled, but technically speaking, I guess I am. I'm deaf in one ear, I'm dyslexic, I'm ADHD. So those all present challenges in life. And oftentimes people will perceive me as being mentally challenged, and they'll talk down to me or treat me like I'm stupid. And mostly I don't care. Now, nobody wants to be talked down to, and I know that I'm not stupid, but the opinions of others of me at this point in time very rarely affect me too much, because life's too short. And I can't worry about the fact that other people have poor opinions of me. That's got to be their problem. I can't let it be my problem. And so that's the way I treat that now. And I've treated it that way for some time. And sometimes I forget that people think I'm an idiot until they're really talking down to me. Like, oh, right, you think I'm a moron, and I don't understand the concept you just talked about. Because I'm dyslexic, because I'm ADHD, sometimes I'm a little bit flighty and can't have difficulty focusing. I'm on medication for that now, but I wasn't before. But even still, sometimes I'm a little bit flighty, and I think differently than most other people because I'm dyslexic. But I'm hardly alone there. I mean, there's millions upon millions of dyslexics out there. And I was very fortunate as a child in that my mother knew early on that I was dyslexic, because her brother was dyslexic, her father is dyslexic, my father is dyslexic, and my dad's dad is also dyslexic. So it's all over my family. And when I was growing up, my dad and my grandfathers and my uncle, those are the people I looked up to. Those were my heroes. So I never once thought it was a bad thing to be dyslexic. I'm just one of the gang, right? And they gave me a bunch of tests early on, in the second grade and then in the third grade again. And those tests, I was at the top of the IQ chart. But they never told me that. They really should have, because, man, you have those moments when you feel stupid because you get the thing backwards, or you can never remember the thing properly. And memory issues and stuff, and getting stuff backwards, those are just the quirks that go on with being dyslexic. But the perk to being dyslexic is every dyslexic has a high IQ. Every dyslexic is good at problem solving and thinking outside the box. There's a reason they're recruited for NASA. There's a reason that Walt Disney and Da Vinci and Tesla and what's his face there, and the light bulb. Yeah, those guys were all dyslexic. So if you happen to be dyslexic, you were amongst the elite as far as that goes. But that doesn't mean that it's all going to work out for you. I mean, some of us have difficulty reading. A lot of us have difficulty expressing what we know. If you can't write it down, if you can't record it, if you can't communicate it in some way, then it doesn't do you much good, does it? Or maybe you do know how to do something better, but in other areas, because you don't shine, people think you're stupid. And it is so frustrating dealing with that. But, that's life. It's okay. We'll get by. But anyway, I've been dyslexic my whole life. And really, thanks to my mother and my upbringing, I never once thought of myself as being disabled because I was dyslexic. I just knew that like left and right for me are still a challenge today. I knew that spelling was never going to be my thing, and chances of me getting things backwards from time to time are very good. So, it's like from my point of view, being dyslexic is like being tall or short or left-handed or right-handed. Like, you don't control it; it just is, and you don't have to be ashamed of it. And I'm not. I'm proud of it. I've always been proud that I'm dyslexic. For me, it was never a disability. It was always just, he's just left-handed. He's just dyslexic. You know? That person happens to be tall. Same kind of thing, from my perspective. So, anyway, that's Darci's Corner. Just because you happen to be dyslexic or ADHD or have a different way of looking at the world because you have some sort of a mental condition that makes you look at the world differently, that doesn't mean you are disabled. That just means you're different. And we need that. And be proud of it. And embrace it. And don't for a second be ashamed to be yourself. That's all I got to say on that.